And I'm back. Hi, it's Rodd Duff with Insights and Straight Talk once again. I, I thought I'd come out in the dark, I guess, and trying to get all my tech ability down. This old man trying to learn a new trick. I just came on for a second because I wanted to update some of the upcoming podcasts that we have, upcoming shows. We're going to be talking to well, first of all, I think my son Brandon, he was in the last episode or an episode or two ago, and he's going to start doing some I guess, for lack of a better word, some co-hosting, and I'm really excited about that. He's got a great show of his own, and he's been doing it longer. Well, formally longer than I have. I've been playing around with this for many years. I've started, if you look on some of the announcements I send out, this channel is based on a book that I've written. I'm starting to query it here coming up, and I was to create a platform, and this damn platform took over, so it's kind of pushed back the book a bit. But it's out there, and well, it's not out there. I'm querying it. I'm querying, looking for agents, the perfect agent for this system. But anyway, so we've got Janelle, who her sister disappeared 20 30 years ago or so, and she's led this charge. She's also a recording artist. She's got a couple albums out. She's been in the country genre. Very good. I flirted around with being an agent for their band. God, that's 20 years ago probably. Anyway, she's going to come on. We're going to talk about her show and what goes on, and some of the, this is a big deal. It's always been a big deal, but underneath the current, people, this has been going on. I mean, we're talking about tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of kids that have disappeared. Sex trafficking, slave labor. They say there's more slaves in today's world than there ever has been in history. So we're going to talk about that. And then we already talked about Paven is going to come on. He's actually been in a couple of shows like in the background, but he's a very intelligent guy that does a lot of IT stuff. And then we've got two other ones that are, and you know what? You guys are starting to make this a pain in the ass for me. I started this just very low budget, and I mean, it doesn't make any money, and I hope it starts what's it called? Amortizing. I hope it's going to start amortizing soon before I run out of money and kicked out on the streets with just my camera and my my little platform here. So Paven's going to come on. We're going to interview him. I just wanted to, I just got a confirmation from a gentleman in Great Britain. Yeah, I mean, people from all over the world are not only watching, but wanting to guest on. I guess that's what's one of the many good things about technology. So I'm going to do I think it's going to be Friday, but I haven't got that sorted out. I need to get like this calendar, because I've just been running it through my Salesforce, but now I'm getting like requests every other day for being on the show. So I've got to dedicate something there. But this gentleman that I'm talking about coming on pretty soon, he is an experienced entrepreneur and he owns a media company and management services for well over 10 years. He went to the School of Economics from London and the Draper University. If any of you know either of those two, they're very prestigious institutions, and he's always dealt with economics. So he and I are we've been talking over the last couple of days. Well, actually, me and his associate have been talking the last few days, and yeah, we're going to get into some crypto and some Web 3.0. So this is part of the show where I want my generation, us old people, to really get comfortable with what's going on around us. I always refer back to the time when in the 80s, people that were my age and even younger and even older, high levels of depression because they became separated from society because they didn't know, mobile phones and your internet and computers. This is all very, very new to them. Just like it's all very, very new to us. Our kids grew up in it. So, my son, he's 40-ish. Um, and my other ones, but bottom line is they grew up with a phone in their hand. So they're very comfortable with this next rollout, and I'm very concerned about AI. I mean, I'm excited as heck. I use it. I mean, the information I send out advertising the show, I use an AI automation. It's about 14 modules deep. I think I showed it on here one time. But I worked with Paven to finish that off. Brandon and I started, and then I added to it and screwed it up. And so Paven came in at the last minute just to give me a hand, and he did some tweaks in the how the aesthetics of the podcast are. So again, that's it. I just want to. I've got Janelle coming up. I've got this gentleman, Abhishek. He is. I mean, his media tech company has more than 1 million MAUs, and and he is the chief officer of what's called the Voice of Crypto. Very high following. He's been following this show, and he jumped on I think 2 weeks ago, something like that, and said, "Hey, been following you. I like what you're doing." So I think Brandon and I are gonna we've come up with about, I don't know, 25 questions, but I got to get this calendar app figured out so I can get him booked either the end of this week or the beginning of next week. Also, and Baron, who was on here before, wants to get started in a podcast, and in talking to him, one of the things I suggested for him was to get on with a thing called Matchmaker Matchmaker FM. It's not a dating app, but what it does do is it puts podcasters and guests. So I have a profile as a guest, which I haven't done. I was going to do that before I started the podcast, but this thing's just taken over, and it's sucking me in. I mean, I love every minute of it, but it's something because it's important. It's what's needed. So anyway, this if any of you are interested or want to do things in this environment, first of all, call me anytime. Advice is free. But then also Terry Tucker, listen to this gentleman here. I'm very impressed. He's a founder of what's called Motivational Check LLC, and he wants to be a guest on our show, obviously, and to help the audience by sharing his unique and positive stories about the concepts of mindset. This guy, I mean, my God, he's gone through. He used to be a basketball player, NCAA one basketball player, but over time he has had some devastating effects to his life, and I'll let him get into all that. But remember, Terry Tucker, really, really impressive man, and looks to be a good addition to this show. And then I've got a couple other requests that I've got to go through and see. I mean, this is about the middle class, so basically any subject is up for haul. So that's it. I just wanted to get about 10 minutes in and talk about a couple of things. I didn't even advertise going out on this, so I don't know how much viewership it'll get, but I hope it helps people start working with their calendars on when they may want to see a show live or come back later when it's sitting there in post-production. So that's it. I love you guys all very much. Straight Talk and Insights, an IMS company, independent media source, and then on the industrial side, industrial machinery sales. And so that's where we talk about the plastics industry and all that. But yeah, come onto the site, man. I mean, we have the podcasts that talk about what we talk about here, the middle class, the main thing. Then we have bloopers, which some of them are pretty funny. And some of them are pretty embarrassing. And then we have for the plastics industry, it's called Industrial and Business. If you look on the different playlists, and then I've got one I'm just starting up. I haven't really got it going yet, but I think I did put one poem on there, but I've got tens of thousands of poems. I love writing. Like I said, this actually started because of a book. And because I needed this, I've gone through some, we all have, and this is my ability to manage those things. So with that, love you guys. Insights and Straight Talk, an IMS company. I'm Rodd Duff, and go say hi to somebody. I see it more and more. It's really starting to, not that I'm catching anything on, but people are more open now to really start talking about just things, say hi to your neighbor, shake somebody's hand, create the vibe in your space. That's it's a better space, a better vibe, a better area than when you got there. You can control your space, so go out and control it. The new administration's coming in a week or so. And so there's going to be a lot of things going on. I want to talk about these fires. I want to talk about these drones. There's a lot of really crazy stuff going on. The fires are, they're being looked at why and how. I mean, people are starting to question the motives of the deep state, or whatever you want to call it, in this country. Anyway, with that, I love you. Have a great day. Go out, say hi to somebody, and let's change the world, man. All right, see ya.